NCIS Origins introduces a plot hole regarding Jackson Gibbs' relationship with his son, Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Despite the established narrative in NCIS that they hadn't spoken for years, the prequel depicts them as having a supportive, albeit strained, relationship following the deaths of Shannon and Callie. Additionally, inconsistencies arise with Mike Franks, who is shown to have a prior acquaintance with Jackson, contradicting previous episodes. Although Jackson's storyline hints at a potential return, the complexities of their relationship remain unresolved, conflicting with established canon. NCIS Origins creates another Jackson plot hole before it can even solve his appearance inconsistency. NCIS Origins has created a Jackson Gibbs plot hole before it can even explain his questionable involvement. Jackson, played by Robert Taylor, is one of several pre-existing NCIS characters to appear in the spin-off. He appears in a supportive role as he tries to help his son, Austin Stoll's Leroy Jethro Gibbs, heal following the death of his wife and daughter. As NCIS established, it is clear that Jackson and Gibbs have a weak relationship, but NCIS also said that the characters had no relationship at all, which is not true in the prequel. As NCIS has existed for over 20 years, a lot of Gibbs' life has already been revealed in the flagship series. NCIS Origins follows Gibbs' life in the early 1990s, and while it has tried to remain true to established storylines in NCIS, it has also formed several inconsistencies, with Jackson's appearance being the main one. As Jackson is a significant character in Gibbs' life, it makes sense that NCIS Origins would include him. If only the original show didn't establish that at this point in time, the pair had no contact. NCIS Origins hasn't explained how Jackson is in the prequel despite canon. Jackson and Gibbs supposedly had a falling out months ago. Jackson has been a recurring character on NCIS Origins so far, but according to NCIS and Mark Harmon's Gibbs, Jackson and his son are not supposed to have spoken to each other since Shannon and Callie's funeral. Jackson first appeared in NCIS Season 6, and it was then that Gibbs revealed they had not talked to his dad in 15 years. The tension in Season 6, Episode 4, when Gibbs and his dad reunited, was strong and awkward, and it was clear that Gibbs held some feelings of resentment. However, this is not the relationship that is shown in NCIS Origins. Tensions are still high between the two men in the first few episodes of NCIS Origins, but it is clear that Gibbs' father cares deeply about him, and that the two still have a relationship following the funerals. Jackson's concern for his son is especially revealed when he asks Gibbs to move back home with him and when he saves Shannon's mementos from the trash. Their bond may be strenuous, but their relationship seems more complex than NCIS revealed. NCIS Origins Episode 3 establishes that Jackson and Franks knew each other, despite NCIS. Jackson and Franks share a history. Besides the inconsistencies in Jackson and Gibbs' relationship, NCIS Origins has also introduced an inconsistency between Mike Franks and Jackson. The two characters supposedly met in NCIS Season 8, Episode 1, when Gibbs and his loved ones were being targeted by serial killer Paloma Reynosa as revenge killings. Gibbs and the rest of the NCIS team worked together with Mike Franks to do whatever they could to save Jackson and others in time. However, NCIS Origins has revealed that Franks and Jackson knew each other all along. NCIS Origins Episode 3 revealed that the two characters have encountered each other before. The revelation happened when Jackson went to Frank's house to try and get him to fire Gibbs. Jackson was worried that his son would use being on the field to fulfill his death wish, and he insisted that Franks remove him from the team. While this did not happen, it did show the extent of both Jackson's and Frank's care for Gibbs. Will Jackson Gibbs still return in NCIS Origins? The prequel has hinted that it is possible. The final moments of NCIS Origins Episode 3 saw Jackson leaving, presumably to go back home to Stillwater, after he failed to persuade Gibbs to come back with him. However, on the way back, he also asked his cab driver to make a pit stop, and Jackson was later shown saving the box of Shannon and Gibbs' list of rules from the garbage. Since Gibbs' box is in his possession in NCIS, it can safely be assumed that Jackson will get it back to Gibbs at some point during NCIS Origins. It is unsure yet whether Jackson will return to the prequel, but his possession of the box of rules does make a small appearance possible. However, given Gibbs and Jackson's strenuous relationship, it is unlikely that Jackson will return to a big role. Moving aside from the inconsistencies in their relationship between NCIS and NCIS Origins, their struggles are still present in both. Besides, the flagship did establish that the two had practically no relationship by the time NCIS Season 6 happened.